your face. Let's get a bit of light on situations. You are streaming through.
Alright, is the voice thingy up yet? Oh? Hey, is the voice thingy up yet? Should I start? Welcome. This is the Your Ideas live stream. I'm Kate, and I'm first up. And I'm playing the first Danganronpa game. Let's get started, shall we? Danganronpa is a series where is the voice thingy up yet? Okay. Yeah. Good. Please bear with us a minute. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Absolutely no difference. Oh,
thanks.
Right, let's test it out now.
We're just doing a final test, and then we'll begin. If you want to add your 2 cents at any point, feel free to drop in.
I've certainly never played Danganronpa game. I watched the anime of one and I talked with some friends in college about the series, but I need to play 2.
Yeah.
I should probably play 1 as well.
Yeah.
So I definitely look forward to it.
Absolutely. I mean, the anime pales in comparison to the actual game, and the games just get better and better. I mean, V3 is brilliant.
What I'm going to say is, I think I have a much easier time playing 1 and 2 than 3, because 1, only a few characters I like really want to
Yeah, the characters get more likeable as the games go on.
Danganronpa 2, there's a few people that are interesting, so it's going to be more in-depth. Danganronpa V3, that's really difficult because I like every character in the cast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like Kokichi best. Kokichi is hilarious.
My 3 favourite characters are the main character,
Kaede.
the adventurer guy, who guys made it into the how that goes. And I'm torn between Kibo and
Kyo and
the inventor.
oh, Mew. Oh yeah. Personally, I like Shuichi, Kokichi, and Rantaro quite a bit. They're just brilliant.
A bit quieter for the voice claims, so I'm going to try and Okay, try one more time, Kate. I do apologise.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 4, 5, 6. Hello?
Yes, absolutely fine. Right.
Okay, so we're good.
We're good. We're streaming live.
Okay. Sorry for all the delays. This is the Your Ideas Game-A-Thon, and I'm up first. I'm playing Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. It's the first game in the Danganronpa franchise. In Danganronpa, a group of students are selected for having special talents, and they are awarded the title of Ultimate. There's all kinds of talents, such as, the Ultimate Swimming Pro, the Ultimate Martial Artist, or even odd ones like Ultimate Gambler or Ultimate Biker Gang Leader. And in the first Danganronpa game, there's a school known as Hope's Peak Academy that awards these titles to people, to students, and has them enrolled. And one normal student in the country, is given the honour of joining these students by random lottery, and they're called the Ultimate Lucky Student. That's our protagonist. However, when our protagonist, Makoto, goes into the school for the first time, he passes out. And when he wakes up, he and 14 other students have been sealed inside the school. And a teddy bear known as Monokuma, right here, tells them that if they want to leave, they must successfully murder another student and get away with it. But the student that manages to escape via this method will be the only one who gets to leave the school alive. And that's where our story begins. Just to warn you, there is blood, violence, language, and brutal murder. Let's get cracking. At this point, there has already been 2 deaths, one of which is a murder. Well, technically they're both murders, but if you're wondering about the girl lying on the floor there, she's not our victim. But I'll explain that in a minute. Here's the Monokuma file we were given after the murder was discovered. It's kind of like an autopsy report. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. The time of death was 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto, that's the protagonist, his room. And all evidence suggests that the death took place in his bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to her abdomen, and there was an injury to her right wrist. Her wrist seems to have suffered a fracture. Let's find out what happened. I'll introduce the students as we run into them. And here's our first truth bullet. Truth bullets are basically what we call evidence and testimony. You'll see why they're called bullets later. The girl on the floor here is Junko Enoshima. She was the ultimate fashionista. After the murder was discovered, she defied Monokuma, attacked him, and was brutally killed for violating the rules. Moving on. This is Yasuhiro Hagakure, but everybody just calls him Hiro. He's the ultimate clairvoyant. And he's kind of an idiot. This is Chihiro Fujisaki, the ultimate programmer. Absolutely adorable. Okay, the murder happened in Makoto's room, so let's go there first. This is Mondo Awada, the ultimate biker gang leader. After the murder, he was assigned to guard the body and the crime scene. So apparently there's a trash room in the dorms. That might be worth checking out.
Yo.
Forgive me if I scroll through the text in the investigation a bit fast. We are running on borrowed time. This is Sakura Ogami, the ultimate martial artist. Like Mondo, she was assigned to guard the crime scene after the murder took place. Let's begin investigating, shall we? There are scratches and gouges across the walls and bed. Might have been the first thing you noticed. It's proof that there was a struggle of some sort.
Wait.
All of the bedrooms are completely soundproof, so nobody could have really known about the murder until after the body was discovered. Right. The key on the ground. It's Makoto's room key. Sayaka was very frightened the previous night, and she asked Makoto to switch rooms after somebody tried to get into her room. That's why Sayaka was found in Makoto's room instead of her own. When they switched rooms, they switched keys as well, so Sayaka would have had the key the entire time. How did the killer get into Makoto's room in the first place? She was very frightened, so she wouldn't have opened the door for anybody. So the room switch, something only Sayaka and Makoto could have known about, that sounds like an important thing to remember. This is the replica sword that Makoto put in his room in hopes of protecting him, having something to protect himself with. The whole thing is covered in gold coating, and it comes right off if you so much as touch it. This is the sheath of that replica sword. The sword's been taken out, naturally, as you would during a fight, but there's scratches on the sheath. Why? I mean, you wouldn't use the sheath in a fight, usually. Looking at the lint roller, it seems there's way less than there were before. Seems like somebody used it. Certainly wasn't Makoto. Ah yes, the toolkit. All of the boys got toolkits, but all of the girls got some boxes of sewing equipment.
Yo. What?
And apparently, well, nobody's had any reason to use their toolkits yet.
By the way.
So none of them have been opened. Ah, this is Kyoko Kirigiri. Her ultimate talent is unknown at the minute.
What are you doing? Isn't it obvious? No, not really. I'm searching. Searching? Did you lose a contact or something? Did you listen?
Huh.
I see. Hey.
Ah, the reaction. Something that's only in the first game. Apparently there's no hair in the room, despite the fact that Makoto's been living in this room for several days.
I see.
So somebody used the lint roller and cleaned Makoto's room. The bathroom on the other side of this door. Let's take a look at the body then, shall we? This is the real murderer. This is the murder victim for this case, Sayaka Maizono, the ultimate pop sensation. She and Makoto knew each other from middle school, in a way. And they were rather close together. They became rather close during their imprisonment here. Let's see. Okay, a sharp object has been thrust into her stomach, and that's what killed her. What was the weapon appears to be a knife, but where did they get it from? That's worth looking into. There's something glittering and golden on her wrist, where it was broken. And there's some blood on her left index finger, despite the fact that the palms of both of her hands are totally spotless. So her wrist was broken first, and then she was stabbed. Well, there might be an explanation for the blood on her pointer finger. 11037. Wonder what those numbers mean.
Let's see.
Final message.
Right. So
Apparently she wanted to use her body to block them. If you wrote them in that location while she was sitting in the way we found her, that means she must have been writing them like this, turning only her hand towards the wall. If you write something in that position, what'll happen?
well, Makoto.
That dying message is probably going to be pretty important, I'd say. When it comes to numbers, it might be a good idea to ask the ultimate programmer. The door to the bathroom has been broken.
What?
Makoto's bathroom gets stuck. It doesn't fit in the frame quite right. His bathroom door is the only one that gets stuck like this. By the way, only the girls have locking bathroom doors. The boys' bathrooms don't have locks on them. Makoto's doorknob is apparently broken.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, looks like it's about ready to fall off. That's one way to try and break into a room. Must have used some kind of tool to unscrew it.
So, just a second.
Apparently, only our main character and Sayaka knew about Makoto's door getting stuck.
I see. Goodbye.
And she's gone without explaining anything. She's a mysterious one. Okay, before the murder, Monokuma gave everybody a special DVD. The DVD he gave Makoto hinted that his family may not actually be safe. Sayaka completely and utterly freaked out when she got her DVD. So that's probably worth looking into. Oh, this is supposed to be Sayaka's room, but the nameplate has Makoto's name on it. But this is Makoto's room where the body was found, but it has Sayaka's name on it. The nameplates on Makoto's and Sayaka's rooms were switched. But there were only 2 people who knew about the room switch. There's the DVD that contains Sayaka's motive. It probably isn't related to the case, but it's worth checking out anyways. Let's check out the trash room next. Mondo was worried that somebody might have disposed of evidence in the trash room. Oh, there's a gate here. No way to get past. Hey, it's Monokuma, our mascot, the headmaster, and our executioner, should we break the rules.
No, you can't go any further! No, you can't go any further! No, you can't go any further!
Monokuma.
No, you can't go any further!
So we need to find the person who's on cleaning duty. They're the only one that can actually get to the incinerator. Let's try the first person we see. This is Hifumi Yamada. He's the ultimate fanfic creator. Not much to say about him. Looks like he's on cleaning duty. Only one person appears to be on cleaning duty at any time, and they rotate every week. And only the person on cleaning duty can enter the trash room properly. And to do that, they have a key.
Very strange.
This is Byakuya Togami. He's the ultimate affluent prodigy. And he's a kind of a you-know-what. He seems to actually enjoy this game. This killing game.
So in other
Graduation. Is it that time already?
so that's it.
Right. If anyone could go in and out of the trash room as they wanted, then destroying evidence would be easy.
Hey, listen.
This is Leon Kawata. He's the ultimate baseball star. He's kind of the most normal student of the bunch, not counting Makoto. He wants to become a singer.
Hey, you bastard. You... Is it, like...
There's no way to think about this in a...
You know what I mean.
Skipping that bit.
Give me a break.
Leon, you are pretty much just echoing exactly what I'm thinking.
What?
I don't even get half of some of his references, but that's RPG logic this time.
You got it!
Let's investigate the trash room then, shall we? Don't get this reference?
Da-da-da-da-da! Mr. Naegi! Without a doubt.
Seems like Kafumi, like most of the students, is convinced that Makoto's the killer. Having a body in your room kinda lends itself to suspicion, unfortunately. There are shards of broken glass scattered in front of the incinerator. It looks like it used to be some kind of glass ball, and it's just about big enough to fit in the palm of your hand.
Is this perhaps...
Okay, this reference I actually get. Glimpse of the future. Now he's back to references I don't get. Who did this particular crystal ball belong to? There's only one person it could be. I think you can guess. This is the incinerator. It's way in the back part of the trash room. It's 30 feet from the incinerator to the gate. And it's on!
Yes,
Pretty
indeed.
simple setup. Green button to get it going, yellow button to turn it off. Someone turned the incinerator on. And the last time Hifumi was down here, the day before the crime, the incinerator was off.
I feel as if...
Which means, at some point, the incinerator was switched on without his knowledge, despite the fact that he's the only person who can get into the trash room.
Most suspicious.
How is that possible? Something on the ground. It's a burnt piece of cloth or something. This is... It's obviously cloth, and the shape. It's part of a sleeve from a button-up shirt or a jacket or something like that. And there's blood on the cuff, which means the killer got splattered with Sayaka's blood and used the incinerator to destroy their bloody shirt.
Completely unfortunate. That's it. I'm sure of it.
Sounds like we got a long way to go to prove our innocence. Let's investigate the knife next. And when you think knife, there's only one thing you can really think of. There's only one logical conclusion to make. And that is the kitchen. You have to go through the dining hall to get into the kitchen. And what do you know? One of the kitchen knives is missing. Okay, let's ask around then, shall we? This is Aoi Asahina, otherwise known as Hina. She's the ultimate swimmer pro. Loves donuts.
Yeah, totally. That's right.
Hina knows that all of the knives were there originally, so one of them is missing out.
Well,
She went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when she finished her tea and went back into the kitchen to wash her glass, one of the knives was gone. So the knife disappeared while she was in the dining hall. Which means she would have been aware of the comings and goings of everybody who went to the kitchen. So she would know for sure that Makoto did not come into the dining hall last night. Which proves he didn't take it. We've stumbled across something that might just prove our innocence. Not that Hina seems to know that.
because, I mean,
Next up, let's make a quick stop to introduce another character. This is Toko Fukawa, the ultimate writing prodigy. She assumes the worst of everybody and has a bit of a stutter. She is completely convinced of Makoto's guilt. She does raise a good point though. If the mastermind was going to get personally involved in the murders outside of, violating rule breakers like Junko, then they would have gotten involved on day one.
very suspicious.
The AV room's next. Let's check out the video, shall we? I wonder how good of a singer she was. She seemed to really be, her pop band seemed to be her life from what we could tell. Poor thing.
Sayaka, my
Sono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band. For these girls, the glowing spotlight only made them that much more beautiful. But then...
This isn't so different from what was on Makoto's DVD.
The successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to. So here's the billion-dollar question. What, oh what, could have caused the group to go to pieces?
Ooh, that's nasty. They're a super famous pop group. Everyone knows who they are. That just goes to show how powerful the mastermind is. Ah, this is Kiyotaka Ishimaru. We also call him Taka. He's the ultimate moral compass, very strict on both himself and others. And very serious.
You hear me? Got it!
Also a bit awkward. I'll just take a little detour here to introduce another character. I think this is the last one. This is Celestia Ludenberg, the ultimate gambler. A bit snobbish, and can say and do cruel things with a smile.
Well, as for me,
Okay then, we've just got 2 more things to check out. And we gotta go to the gym for that. Forgive me if I'm a bit awkward. Hero's still panicking. And that's his crystal ball we found in the trash room.
What the heck? What?
This kind of goes to show about how stupid he actually is. Hero probably forgot it in the laundry room last night. So anybody could have found it and taken it. So the killer was probably planning to wash their clothes in the laundry room, saw Hero's crystal ball, and somehow used it to get their bloody clothes into the incinerator instead.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started? It's time for the long-awaited class trial!
Oh, trial starting.
Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
The red door. That's where we need to go. The way the game is built up, there's a daily life period where the students all try to figure out their situation and what they're going to do, and that's when a motive is presented to them. Makoto can spend time with his classmates to get to know them a little better, and to get special skills to use in the class trial. Once a body is discovered, it moves on to the Deadly Life segment that we just went through. And now we're going into the class trial. So, who do you think murdered Sayaka? You might be able to figure out the who, though perhaps not the how.
Here? Oh, please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom.
Maybe.
Where all
Just
your
maybe.
fate will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
But maybe you figured out the whole thing.
Well,
Yes, indeed. Hey. Makoto.
Let's find out who the real killer is. And so that we can all avoid dying. Oop. After all, if the killer successfully escapes their crime, everybody else will be executed. Though if we figure out the truth, the killer's going to be executed instead. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation in some ways.
Oh,
Well now. Yoo-hoo!
Everybody has their own seat. Arranged in a giant circle. It's set up so everyone can see everyone else. Which means it's easy for anyone to transfer their attention and unease to anybody else. Deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Okay then. Now, we could set the skills that we learned during the, that I learned during the daily life period, but for the purposes of this playthrough, I'm not going to do that. Trial or rise?
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? And what's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates? Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
Okay, let's get started. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. During the class trial segments, I'll have the text on auto mode, as I'm sure you have noticed. And first off is the non-stop debate. Everybody talks one after the other with no breaks. And I have to hit the weak point, marked in yellow, with a truth bullet.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already. And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, it's wrong. And that's how the non-stop debate works.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Okay, murder weapon next. Let's debate. We already know what the weapon
So
is,
what was
though.
used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on her.
No, it's wrong.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
There it is. The accusations.
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret, when nobody was in the dining hall. And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Yes, he's been decided. We've reached the end.
Well, I suppose now's a good time for me to show you the fast-forward feature.
So I guess there's no question. But where does that...
Makoto did it in secret, when nobody was in the...
No, he's wrong.
Got it this time.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Time to bring in our witness.
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Hina should know that nobody, well, Makoto didn't go into the kitchen that night. Which means Makoto couldn't be the killer.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and the Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Oh, now she's accusing us of being accomplices.
Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already. No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case. Oops. Did I say that out loud?
Okay, so there wasn't an accomplice. So Makoto and Hina clearly weren't working together.
So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't
Now
me!
it's Hina who's under fire.
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's... Right.
I think he's scared of her.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations? We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room.
Right, that's how Makoto and Sayaka were able to pull off the room switch in the first place.
A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Okay.
Oh, hey up.
Well, because...
How you doing?
Ah, pretty good. Could use someone to bounce off of.
Ah, yes, and of course she requires me to do that because she abuses me the most.
Oh, absolutely.
She's the one
Abusing you is one of my life's pleasures.
And then later...
I'm James, Kate's friend, aka Slave.
I'm Ewan, the biggest dick in the country.
Then Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
Anyways, ignoring that.
That's the only possibility.
What were you gonna say?
Thinking back
You've watched
on
the
it,
anime, right? You
Yeah,
watched the anime.
I watched
okay.
the anime with you, yeah.
But you haven't seen the
she came
game
into the
version
dining
in this
hall,
case.
she
Well,
didn't
I've
even
seen
look
you
at
play
us.
other
She
games,
just
but
went
mainly the
straight
later
to
games in the
kitchen.
series.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
As she
I
left,
rather
she
enjoyed
said
the
she just
anime
wanted
despite
to
how
drink
much
water.
it left out from the
Most
games.
likely.
That's understandable when you're making
knife was the
30-minute
victim herself.
No, actually 21-minute episodes.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm sure she
It
just
didn't do
took it
too
for
bad a job for what
self-defense.
it was.
No, I
So
actually
you're
rather.
saying the knife she
Yeah,
took
but
was then taken
do you
from
want to
her
compare to see
when
how
she was
how the
killed?
game holds up to it?
Yeah.
In that case, you may not have taken
I
the
just
knife.
finished playing
You
Mega
still
Man
could have killed
X1
her.
for my portion of the 24-hour live stream. Taking a break from it for now.
Yeah, you're going to be live streaming X4 and X6, right?
Later on,
How
yes.
you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong
There's good old
direction.
hamster face.
I love it. I love it.
So he just looks like a hamster with that nose and that mouth.
Yeah, I have to agree completely and utterly. There are actually, 4 games in the Danganronpa series. There's this game,
It's
there's
still too
Danganronpa
early
2,
to decide conclusively that Makoto is the
Goodbye
killer,
Despair, I
wouldn't you
believe
say?
is the subtitle. And
Because you see,
then there's
if the room did belong
then there's
to
a
the killer,
shooting game
then they did
called
something most bewildering.
Ultra Despair Girls.
And until
which
we unravel
takes place
that little
between
mystery,
1 and 2.
you simply
So
can't
you
declare
kind of want
that
to play
he's
the
the
second
killer.
game first. And
Bewildering.
and they wrap up
What the hell are you talking about?
the Hope's Peak Academy saga, as
Something
it's
was
called,
missing from
with
the
an
scene of the
anime,
crime.
the
By all rights,
Danganronpa
should
3
have been
anime. And the most recent game in the series came
You
out
know what
last
I'm
year,
talking about,
Danganronpa
don't you?
V3.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The Hangman's Gambit. Something that hasn't quite reached perfection even now. Basically, you just gotta figure out what the keyword is and put the letters in the correct order.
Objection! Oh wait, sorry, wrong game.
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels.
That's right.
He certainly got the objection pose practicing it anyway.
Not quite.
Culprit removed
He,
from evidence?
not quite, still needs fine-tuning here.
Though Taka has an excellent
Why would
objection
I need to
pose.
get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to
By the way,
remove any
who was your
trace
favourite
that
character?
Sayaka had ever
Like,
been.
from this series?
Yeah, from this
specifically?
game.
From this game, okay.
No. If that were the
It's
case,
been a while
we would
since
have
I
had to
watched
do
it, but I
something
would
about
say
the body
her,
itself,
just because of
not
her
just her hair.
deductive reasoning.
Right. She's pretty level-headed and very mysterious.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course.
Didn't,
to remove
didn't this
any
game
trace
say
that
she was
they
the
had
ultimate
ever been there.
detective, or was she one of the mysterious? Sorry.
She was the mysterious one.
Precisely.
She was she was one of the
Beyond
ultimate
reason to
mysterious.
believe that
Okay,
the
sorry, I was
room's owner and the
confusing it
killer
with
are
something
one and the
else.
same.
Yeah.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some
His
hair?
eyebrows would make Heihachi proud.
No.
Yeah.
There are other reasons that prove
I
why
agree.
Makoto couldn't have done it.
Maybe he's Hayachi's son in disguise in this game. Well, not so much a
Do you remember
disguise.
anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Another illegitimate child? Oh god.
Sayaka was
The
attacked in the
devil
main
gene.
room first, then
It's
fled into the
spreading.
bathroom.
A devil gene with some sense of justice in this
Then
game.
they ran after her. got
Well, at
into
least
the
he's
bathroom,
moral.
And stabbed her.
And how
That's what I
did the
meant,
killer get into the
morality.
bathroom?
Yeah.
Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
Do you remember this bit from the case?
It's fairly
I
certain
think so,
that the killer
yeah.
had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
I have to admit, I'm quite fond of
There was
Sakura
clear
myself.
evidence left behind.
She's just
Do you
awesome.
remember
I
Makoto?
won't spoil how, but she's awesome. I'm also pretty fond of Chihiro. Completely adorable.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob,
The
right?
games in the series just get better as they refine it. This is, gameplay-wise, the most basic in the Danganronpa series. Understandably, of course, because it's the first game. I mean, the second game introduces the logic dive, where you ask smaller questions to solve a bigger mystery, and the cross sword, where it's basically 1v1, your reasoning versus someone else's.
It proves Makoto is beyond
And of
suspicion.
course, V3 introduces replaces
saying you can break the
logic
door in
dive
his
with
own room?
logic drive, which is a driving game instead of a
The
surfing
only choice you
game.
have is to break it. You break
And,
it. There's nothing bewildering about
and they
it.
introduced the scrum debate, which is by far the best mini game out
You
there.
still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Ah, I think we're about to get multiple weak
The
points here.
incident took place in Makoto's room.
You gotta
Sayaka was
bullet
first attacked
specific
in the main
words.
room. She then fled
You
into
gotta
the
get a
bathroom.
specific weak point
Then
with
the
a
killer
specific
ran
truth
after
bullet.
I guess first it helps to listen to what everyone has to say before you make a decision.
Yeah.
Because Sayaka had
I mean, spot if there are any contradictions and such. But because you played the game before, you just go from
To be fair, when I played each of the games, I could just tell as soon as the
reason my
conversation
bathroom
started
didn't open
what the
wasn't because it
conversation was
was
going to be
locked.
about and what the contradiction was.
After all, the girls' rooms
I'm
are the
not
only
trying to
ones
brag.
with walking bathrooms, right?
Though there was a non-stop
Yes,
debate in
now
the
that you
second
mention
game
it,
that
that is true.
frankly gave me one of my
Why didn't
first
the
game
bathroom door
overs
open?
in the whole series. It gave me the first game over I've ever had in the whole series.
Huh? What are you talking about?
It was pretty.
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right.
I'll show you that one at some point.
Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yep, true as true can be.
That's one of my
But
favourite
you
cases in
know,
the series.
You're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student.
The second game's second case is
such a cruddy
pretty
villain.
emotional, which I'm quite fond of.
That's not lucky
And
at
V3's
all.
cases are
So the
awesome.
reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck.
The fourth case in the second game is brilliant.
But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked.
What about
So they
any
tore
particular
apart the
favorite
doorknob to
cases
get in.
from this game?
Right, this game. My favourite
Okay,
case from this
but then
game.
why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Maybe.
Everyone should have known you can't
say
lock
maybe the
any of the
second
boys'
case.
bathrooms.
The second case.
The killer could easily make
Maybe
that
the
mistake,
fourth case
thanks
in
to
some
one
ways.
important
It's the most
detail at the
emotional.
scene of the crime.
You don't have to worry about me remembering what happened in those cases in case you don't want anything spoiled here. It's been a while.
Yeah. Okay. What the killer didn't know was the crime took place in Makoto's room.
Killer must not
Remember,
have
they
realized
had
that it was my
Makoto
room.
and Sayaka swapped rooms the night before the murder.
Yeah.
So Sayaka wound up in Makoto's room, dead as a doorknob.
That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more
Truly a
specific,
hamster.
what the killer didn't
I
know
can
was
just,
that Makoto and
with
Sayaka
someone
had
like
switched
that,
rooms.
I'm just imagining him as one of those
Which
big,
is what led to the
fat
misunderstanding
anime
about the
perverts
bathroom.
peeking in on
Yeah, he
the
kind of
Then
is.
in her
He
own
kind of is. He tries to
then-
look inside the girl's trash.
And there would have been a lock on the door, and they would
I
have had
wonder.
to break through.
I'm trying to remember. Did that ever come off as a plot point?
had
Like, they
no
presented
idea
that as
how
a case.
unnecessary their actions were.
That
Ultimately,
girl
we
spread
can't
some
know
butter
if
in
it
her
came open
bedroom.
by force
I
or simply by
just
accident.
happen to
But-
know that.
The killer must have been considerably confused.
No, but
No idea how they actually
but
got
somebody
the
being a
door
pervert
open.
is used as evidence in the second game.
Of
Seriously.
course it is. Of course it is.
And in fact, it was that very thing that made me decide to do the first game instead of the second, because the
something
second
I
game had
wouldn't
some
do,
inappropriate
Since
content
I would have known exactly
that I
when it
didn't
wasn't
feel
opening.
comfortable
Right?
live streaming.
Fair enough.
That is a definite.
I'm trying to remember. Last year you
So
live
the killer
streamed
would have
the
to
first
be
case from
someone
the
who
third
didn't
game.
know
Yeah,
they'd
from
switched
Danganronpa
rooms?
3.
Yeah.
Then Makoto
Yeah.
couldn't
He
have done
bounced
it.
off mourning the deaths.
Okay, then who did do it?
The third game definitely has the most post-game content out of any game. But the post-game content in the first and second games is
Who we think did it?
pretty interesting.
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Chill down, Mini Hachi.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here.
The idiot has a
Seriously
point.
needs to do something. For serious.
He's got.
Does
I wonder
no
how long
one
it
have
takes
any
to
other
get that
thoughts or
hair
questions?
like that.
It
It
does
looks
not
like he has a
matter how
million
trivial
locks
they
in that
seem.
hair.
Oh, as a matter of fact,
Yeah, fair
I do have one question.
Though Hina's hair is sticking up too.
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
No, it's not quite as unbelievable.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask
Don't
your
be so
question.
impatient, Mini Hachi.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes.
All hail
How did
Sakura.
the killer get inside?
Maybe
She certainly is very
just
buff,
dropped
I'll
the
give her
key
that.
somewhere and the culprit
People
picked it
call
up.
her the
That's
ogre.
possible, right?
Seriously.
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Ms. Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Oh, why exactly can't that be it?
Give me a moment to think on this.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
So, we've successfully proven that Makoto's not the killer.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of who did do it. I think you probably remember, but naturally I'm not gonna let you say anything.
It's been a while. I was going to say it's been a while.
I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
See what I mean, people?
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
Lie? That's outrageous.
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at
I'm
this
gonna
and tell me.
lie.
Can you still deny the possibility?
I mean, I know they do it in Ace Attorney all the time, but that's kind of different.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top
I
sheet
tried
with
that
a
in real
pencil.
life. It's not that easy.
And these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique.
Rip the paper
but
out
even the
before you
classics
use
can be
it. So that
surprisingly
means
useful
like
sometimes.
you'd be wasting a lot of paper. Because the next sheet,
and I
because the
should
next
also
sheet
mention,
after you write the
I
words,
found the
it'll just be
notepad
the
on the
next
desk
sheet
in
that it
Makoto's
gets
room.
written on.
Huh? Which means
I think
only
you mean
someone who had
tear
been
it out
in
and then
Makoto's
write on
room
the same
before the
piece of
incident
paper
could have written it.
that you ripped out.
That
Then either it
I
was
feel incredibly
Makoto
stupid. That's
who
why I
lived
don't
there,
play this game.
or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
There.
So, Makoto,
If you ever need
Did
your
you
daily
write
dose
this?
of mystery, I shall
No,
be there for
I
you.
didn't.
As a fanatic of this
course you
game.
didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature.
By the by,
Sayaka's
if
signature.
you're interested in any of the games in the Danganronpa franchise, they're all on either PS4 or PS Vita.
Why would she write that?
I saw
The
there was
note
like a
likely
collection
her way of
that
getting
you
in
could buy
touch
as
with
well.
a certain
Yeah,
someone.
the Danganronpa Reload 1.2.
She must have
That's
slid
what I'm
it
playing
under
right
their
now.
door
It's
to
got,
let
it's
them
got
know
both
she
the
wanted to
first
meet
and the
with them in
second games
secret.
on it. I highly recommend it.
you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure?
Like, what kind of
anyone
shooting
even
is it?
got
Like
this
the
note?
typical first-person shooter,
And
or a
honestly,
different kind of
no.
shooter?
Even if they did,
Nah, you
I do not
basically
think they are
you
at
run
all
around
involved in
like
what happened.
you would, you know, most other games. You can see your protagonist.
What
just
makes you
fine.
say that?
But when you
Would you
aim,
like
you
to
do
hear
go into
what I
first
have to say?
person.
Ah.
And you got
Very
lots
well
of different
then.
kinds of bullets
Pay
and such. I'll
attention.
show you one day.
Yeah. Is it similar to like that other game you showed me, Valkyria Chronicles?
In a way, it's not really.
Sayaka and
Okay.
Makoto switched
Well,
rooms, correct?
In terms of
But in the note,
not necessarily
the place they
genre,
were
but
asked to
similar
come to
play style as you go around the field
Yeah.
shooting people.
my room.
Uh,
I see.
sort of.
So
But
if someone read that note,
I'll just show you
then
when
they would have gone to
Yeah.
Sayaka's
next
room.
time.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, that's wrong.
I broke
The
your
nameplates
sentence.
on my and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
Now you know why they're called truth bullets.
They got switched?
Yeah.
That's right. The nameplates got
Without
switched,
spoilers,
just like the
please add
rooms
your 2
themselves.
cents.
I like
As a result, the nameplate on
Yeah, I
I
Sayaka's
like
room
the art
actually
style.
had Makoto's name.
Yeah.
And the nameplate on Makoto's room had
Very well
Sayaka's.
drawn, the characters are as well.
Yeah, they get better as they get better in the
room
later
Sayaka
games
was
too.
staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if
And,
someone
uh,
did do what the note said,
She showed it to me
Makoto's
plenty of
room
times.
was
I've yet to
Sayaka's.
play any of the games
Plus,
myself.
their rooms are right next to each other, so switching
Yeah,
the nameplates would be no problem.
Fine by. In the final,
And the one who
shall we
switched
say,
the
mini
names
game that
was-
we haven't gotten to yet.
Well, of course it
I like
wasn't
the art
you,
style for
right,
that
Makoto?
quite a lot.
Right? Okay, then who did it?
Only one person who could have switched the nameplates. I mean, aside from Makoto.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms.
Sayaka, what were you up to?
So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
but why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into
Right,
the
we're
room.
going to be talking about the struggle that took place.
Ah, yeah.
That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out. We know who did it.
Not
Whoever
quite.
she invited over is
Not
the
quite,
culprit.
Captain Obvious.
No
But
mini
we still
Heihachi.
don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial
You
struggle.
Fake French.
Yes, I think you're right.
H.
Then we just have to figure out what happened during the
Little
fight,
donuts.
right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene.
Thank you,
That
oh great
perhaps
Lord
used during
Sakura.
the fight.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
I didn't even notice that.
I did that solely for my amusement. Alright.
Alright, fine. Wait, the cat ears are backwards, aren't they?
No, they're the right way around.
Oh, sorry, it's just the fluffy
you
thing.
have to do
The
is take
fluffy
a good
bits are
look
on the
at her
back. I
broken
thought they
wrist,
were the inside
and
of
it
the
should
ears.
become pretty
Nah.
clear.
It's impossible not to
Right
pet the
there,
back
where
of
her
them
wrist is all
sometimes.
swollen.
I always
There's
do
something
that.
glittery there.
I've been doing
See?
that. I did that solely for my amusement.
I like
It sure is.
gold.
Specifically, the gold
Yes, you
coating
do.
from the replica sword. You barely have to
In
touch
fact, I'm
that
finally
stuff,
glad I
and
got
it'll
that.
stick right to
Someone
you.
traded me that shiny ho-oh last
And
month.
there's some on her wrist
Awesome.
because
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth
So the
draws
murderer
ever
definitely used
closer.
the sword.
Alright, then it's about
I
time
mean,
to
before
solve
he
this
stabbed
mystery.
her.
There was gold paint that came off the sword.
And it transferred to Sayaka's wrist and the killer's hand.
Do you think it could have transferred anywhere else?
Not really, we didn't find any other trace of it.
Okay. I wasn't around for the investigation, so
Fair play.
I'm the Watson to her Holmes.
When the fighting broke out,
Yes,
the
Yes.
culprit grabbed the sword.
you are.
And that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Oh yeah, we have multiple
That's what
super
broke
bullets.
Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden in her leg. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
That's so dumb. So, decent objection pose.
The fighting broke culprit,
finding the
and that's
right-
when the first
Sword-based sneak attack.
Almost missed it there.
No, it's wrong.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and
I'd love to
useless
see
as
someone
shit.
try that. Just try to attack with a sword
How
still in the
did
sheath.
the sheath get damaged?
Like,
If
Link
they got
uses
attacked
goes
with
for the
the
master
kitchen
sword.
knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a
Oh,
defensive
sorry, I
impulse.
still had the sheath on.
In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what
Turning
was
her into a
happening.
shish kebab.
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself.
not yet.
But then the culprit took that
Then
from
they
her
turned
too.
her into a shish kebab.
Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the
These
knife
games
from...
provide so much inspiration.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Her cut wrist.
She's not suicidal. Remember how I said it probably got on past time?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the
Coup
sword.
attack!
I'll pick that up.
Just
Yes, you do that.
Like I said before,
Ah.
the gold coating
Nah,
on that
here's your
sword comes
baby.
right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's
Good,
safe to
horribly
assume
murderous
that's
bear.
because whoever used the sword
Why are we friends
got
again?
some of it on their hands.
Because I
There's
occasionally
really no
improvise
way
with
she could have
snowbites.
picked it up. and come
Okay,
away
fair
completely
enough.
clean.
Snowbites is worth all the abuse.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
No, that's not it at all.
She's clearly afraid of water.
She's
According to
hydrophobic.
the Monokuma file,
I've never
Sayaka's
taken a
time
bath
of
or a
death was
shower
around
in my
1:30
life.
a.m.
No, that's Coco.
In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower. You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Why is his eyes making kissy face?
I don't know, it disturbs
So
me.
anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means
I don't want to imagine kissing someone with their eyes.
that's right. And the one who damaged the sheep with the kitchen knife was...
If I vomit, I will vomit on you.
Better forget that camera.
She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword
Thank
was
you,
used
Jerk.
as an impromptu defense.
And the one who attacked first was...
A lot of people, particularly girls, seem to
Now do
like
you
Kokami,
understand?
but I just
She
can't
wasn't
see
a
the
blameless victim in
appeal.
this.
Mostly because he's a pompous,
far
stuck-up
from it.
jerk.
It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
I'm not into
Took
creeps.
the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation,
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings
Well,
up
if
another
God's
point.
light Sakura says so,
Makoto,
then it must be so.
Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out, while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would
Yeah, I never
become
noticed she had a
suspicious
ribbon on
right
her
away.
neck. Never noticed that.
So all that's why she switched the names?
I'm looking at Mondo
Doesn't that
making
plan
me
seem
to
a little
eat
risky?
fried corn. Not me, because I
For one
hate
thing,
stuff.
if her plan worked,
Remind me,
Mr.
who's Mondo
Naegi
again?
would just tell
The
everyone
biker
in
gang
switch
leader
rooms.
with the hair that looks like corn.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not sure our soft
I can see what you mean.
is capable of that kind of cutthroat
Popcorn, anyone?
I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is
be
why
up.
out of all of us, she
Popcorn
asked
I
him
like.
to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop
Now I'm getting
sensation.
hungry.
A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Or you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit! Was trying to murder
In the end,
somebody
her plan
and died
backfired.
instead.
She launched her attack with the knife, then found
it's obvious
herself
what the
under
answer
attack
is.
in turn.
It was a suicide.
That must be
She
when
broke
her
her own
wrist
wrist
got broken,
and stabbed
and she
herself
was
in the
forced
stomach
to drop the
and
knife.
wrote on the wall behind her.
The tables were suddenly
Wrote
turned
saying
on her,
he did it.
and she died at
Oh,
the
wait.
hands of the one she planned
I should probably
to
say who it is. Nah, I don't have time to spell.
Just hold on. That can't be true. Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Then I'd have to get entirely new victims to fit torture.
Well, time to bring in the Danganronpa 2 cast.
Right now, you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah.
we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
I didn't think it was too bad.
At least his final smash is pretty relevant.
Try again.
I could have gotten someone more decent. Could have gotten like a curly character.
Yeah. Sorry, we were just talking about the latest Smash Brothers Direct, by the way.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Regarding that Smash Brothers Direct, I didn't think it was too bad. Like, they introduced some new fighters to the Smash Bros. That you didn't see. You didn't see.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, well,
Sayaka's dying
they
message.
introduced Ken from Street Fighter.
Wait, what did you say?
I don't know whether he'll be a new his own character or an echo fighter to Ryu. Incineroar's a playable character now.
Do it!
Written in her own blood. There must be
you're never
about
gonna
the
believe
killer
this.
hidden in there.
A piranha plant.
Before we get too far into that, I need to
They
ask,
introduced it right
can
at
we
the end
really
of the
be
Smash
sure that
Direct.
Sayaka
A
is the
piranha
one who
plant
wrote
is a
it?
playable character in Smash Bros.
What the?
It's a joke character, I'm guessing.
Her left
you want to know
index
what his
finger
final
had
smash
blood
is?
on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the
Potentially,
message.
he turns into PT Piranha.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Yeah, once we're
I
done
think
here.
we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro, you're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
They're hieroglyphic symbols.
Exactly!
It looks
Just
like...
got the words right out of my mouth.
What?
That or they're
it's
in
just,
Russian.
look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1 1,
See it?
look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Hey,
Oh, you're right.
if you miss out the...
No,
Connecting line
there's
is
a line.
barely
You
there.
can just barely
So
see
I
it.
assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could
what's that?
also read it as an N.
Maybe she wrote the name
You might have
backwards.
finally just said something worth a
Try
shit.
writing, sitting like she did. Back to the wall
These cells are
with the...
really getting excited
Oh,
now.
yeah.
But even if
Okay,
that
that's
really
how she
isn't
wrote it.
N037, doesn't make any more sense
Do you have an
than
idea who
before.
did it?
Number 37. Is that a room number?
No.
Rotate the image 180
And Kyogo
degrees.
just spelled it out. In Japanese, this would have been pretty bleeping hard. But an English speaker can see it pretty clearly.
Now I see.
Oh,
She
I
wrote
see
down the
now,
killer's
yeah.
name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Sayaka's dying message reveals the real killer's name. Who amongst these mere mortals do you think is the killer?
Remember, take the lettering and flip it over. And we get... this guy.
Here's my answer.
Excellently done.
The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters
I had to do it with the cat ears.
L-E-O-N.
Awesome.
L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon. What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles.
Wow, his
that
tag
happen to
suddenly
look
got
like
a
my
lot
name.
spiky.
No, it's not
You know,
random at all.
by and by, that Leon and
She wrote that
Sayaka were the
message
first
on the
two
wall
characters
behind her
created
as she
for
was
the game,
leaning up
and
against
their
it.
designs were used as the basis for all the other characters.
In that position, she
So
couldn't move to write normally.
the developers
and
got
had to
sick
write
of them
upside
and
down, as it
decided
were.
to kill them off first.
And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of
By the
you,
by,
it ends
another
up
thing
getting
is,
clipped.
when they were developing
Try it for
Danganronpa,
yourself if you
they
want.
first,
Write something
their
sitting
first
like
concept
her, and
was,
the letters will be inverted.
was a game we now know as Distrust. Where
That sounds like one hell
where
of a
your
stretch to
friendships
me.
with the other characters would
I'm the killer? You
would
can't just
shape
go and say shit
would,
like that.
determine who lives and who
If you're
dies.
not the killer, then why did you try to
So
destroy
it's
the
a
evidence?
it was originally going to be a multi-path endeavor.
You know what I'm talking about,
And the
right,
murders
Nicole?
were a lot more gruesome.
The evidence Leon
Sayaka
tried to
got
get rid of?
No, Junko got beheaded.
Ooh.
I got it!
Got it.
And
You mean
Leon, who
the bird
had a
shirt
different name
piece I
back
found
then,
laying on the
Kazuo
ground by
something
the
or another,
incinerator, right?
was shown at
As the killer
a
stabbed
trial
Sayaka,
for
there must have been
Kyoko's
some of her
murder,
blood on them.
and it
And to dispose
well,
of the shirt covered in the victim's
the more
blood,
violent
they threw it
aspects
into
of
the incinerator.
Of Distrust made it
But
into
one
the
piece burned up
made it into
and
this
got
game
left
through
behind.
what will happen at the end of this
And the
trial.
killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would
Certainly
have panicked.
considerably more brutal than the other.
Isn't that
than,
right, Leon?
than what happens in the future.
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one
like
wearing
you,
a
Chihiro.
black button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine.
Trying to think who
It's
else
just that one
wears a
little
shirt
charred
like
piece.
it.
There's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
Ogami.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Burnt remains of the church. The killer wasn't able to get rid of.
I got it!
Sorry, I missed the arm.
If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, you should be able to figure out who the killer
Somehow,
is.
Leon got
Yeah,
got
that's a
it
good
into the
point.
incinerator
I think
despite
I know
not
what you're
being on
gonna
crash
say.
duty.
You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash,
He's trying
right?
to deflect the blame.
Interesting.
So it was hamster face.
By the way, speaking of which, there was in the original demo for the first Danganronpa game, this murder case had Hiro as the victim, and heavily implied, and was later confirmed in a manga, that Hifumi would have been his killer.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence.
No, it's wrong.
How many sentences are you gonna break, Katie?
Hold on.
I
think
hate
I know how someone
literacy.
could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball.
Are one of these guys a fortune teller?
But
Yeah,
how would you
that,
use
that would
it?
be Hiro. You know, the guy with the dreads.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you have to divine with it.
Divine with it.
The killer simply took aim at the incinerator
How do I
switch
get
and threw the ball through a
this
gap
shirt
in
into
the
the
gate.
incinerator?
All they had to do
Oh,
was
it's
hit
floating!
that
It's
switch,
floating!
and
It's
the
in!
incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi? Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate.
You're remembering this?
Yeah.
Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
You remember what his talent is?
Fanfic creator.
Absolutely!
Because fanfic creators, like, write so much that muscle builds up in their arms as they're writing it down.
Exactly!
Stupid you sound right now?
No, in all seriousness, though, it is the baseball
Would
star.
surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer!
You know...
These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You know, in Alter Despair Girls,
You still
we learned
wanna
that
hit it?
he actually has a younger cousin
Makoto,
that he's quite fond of.
Go ahead and review
Sort of
the
treats her like a
incident
little
one more
sister.
time to make
She's
his
kind of a
crime
creep.
perfectly clear. And with
But
that,
he still
we can end
cares
this.
for her.
Listen to me!
He's a good
What the
big
hell do you
brother.
mean end this?
Despite now being
Say
a
what
murderer.
you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed.
Nope, here it comes.
Now here's what happened.
Alright, is this the bit where we get, like,
The closing argument.
I like the comic book thing you use to solve the case.
By the way, if you get anything wrong in the first game regarding this, it goes on until it actually does go on until you reach the point where you were wrong. Then you have to edit it. That's something that wasn't in the future games. By and by, in a manga adaptation, Leon's murder of Sayaka is presented in something of a more sympathetic light. Apparently, Apparently, in that one, Sayaka didn't drop the knife, and he broke into the bathroom to try and calm her down before she attacked him again, and ended up getting killed by accident in the struggle. That's how it was played in one of the manga stories.
The killer is you! I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them.
She seems like such a sweet girl, too.
Yeah.
She attacked them with the knife she'd taken
really
from the
did.
kitchen earlier.
She liked to pretend to be psychic.
But then something happened that she wasn't
You know,
prepared
Sayaka
for.
was the one that suggested Makoto actually take that sword to his room.
My room
So
and
it's
fought
partially
back.
her fault.
Yeah.
Her own fault, so to speak. It's kind
During
of
the
ironic.
struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife.
I remember Sayaka in the anime. She was voiced by quite a well-known anime voice actress,
Really?
Monica Rial.
I have no idea who she is.
Let me think. She's done quite a
killer
lot
went
of
after
roles from
but couldn't get the bathroom door open.
She was
What they didn't know was
couple
that my
of,
bathroom
she was a
door got
character
stuck
in
with it.
Negima,
And there was a trick to
character in Rosario Vampire. I know she was
Sayaka
stalking
knew
from
about that
Panty and
because I told
Stalking.
her. But of course, the killer had no way
well,
of knowing.
it's a voice that's very easy to recognize in a way. Like, she has done
So
a lot
instead,
of
the
voices
killer
in
forced the
anime.
door open,
Yeah.
took the kitchen knife,
And none of which I know.
I'm pretty sure if I point out the voice from an anime
And
you've
stab
watched, I'm
Sayaka.
sure I'll point it out to you.
You do that.
but with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message.
Gotta love the little manga
To keep the
style.
killer
Yeah,
from
I
noticing,
really do like
she
it.
wrote
Yeah,
it on
this
the
is-
wall behind her.
This is awesome.
And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence.
And you gotta love Murder McDarkskin.
First, they took off their shirt, which was covered
Murder
in their victim's
McFeatureless?
blood.
I prefer dark skin.
That
Then they
sounds kind
took
of
the lint
racist.
roller
No,
in the
yeah,
room
that's true.
and
Sorry.
cleaned up the entire
Sorry.
area.
So, murder
They wanted to
featureless,
make
did
sure
you
they
say?
got rid of any
Murder
trace they'd ever
McFeatureless
been
or
there.
Featureless McStabby?
Murder McFeatureless, because stabbing, it's a specific form of murder.
Yeah.
Murder
Killer
can
headed to the trash
happen
room
with
to
anything.
destroy their bloody
Good
shirt.
point. Maybe he has a lot of cousins.
They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there,
McStabby, Murder McCrushy.
but the trash
Murder
room was blocked off
McShooty.
by an especially sturdy gate,
Oh.
preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hero's crystal ball, which he left in the
Probably
laundry
originally
room.
planned to wash his shirt before finding that crystal ball.
The killer managed to throw the
Getting a
ball
certain
through the
idea.
gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch.
Ironically, he probably would have just been best
For
off
any
hiding it
normal
in his
person,
room.
that'd
Nobody
be
went
an
in there.
impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate
By
baseball
foreigners.
star.
Lazy people shouldn't try to commit crimes. They won't be able to cover them up.
Thrown with absolute precision.
If it's not due to
hit the
laziness,
switch
it's
on
due
the
to working
incinerator,
too hard.
which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece
Crazy
of
look in
evidence,
his eye.
they left the area with
The art style
I
is
imagine,
refined more in
a sigh
the
of
future
relief.
Danganronpa games.
But there was one thing they missed.
Not much they could do about
Part of
that.
the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence.
Is that right?
Isn't that right, Leon?
We've got it.
It would appear that Hero simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room.
He can't argue his way out of this.
You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt. And that's
Except
where
if you
saw it,
somehow
right?
fail here, he will get away with it, despite all the evidence.
Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
By the way, if you get a game over in this game, you start back at the segment that you failed at.
Of course
Which is the
I
same,
do.
which is pretty helpful, you know?
I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories. You need evidence. Where's the evidence?
Quite the hothead.
Yeah, he is a bit of a hothead. So, like I've said more than once, he is one of the more normal students.
Well then,
in the
I
upper
guess
bunch.
this is
Just
exactly
had to see him go.
present the evidence that proves you did it.
I would rather have had him hanging around than the likes of Hifumi or Togami.
I have the evidence?
When the killer broke the bathroom doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. So what did the killer
Right,
use?
how did they take apart the doorknob? They have to use something.
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid,
Stupid,
stupid.
stupid,
Stupid, stupid, stupid, stupid, stupid, stupid.
Time for the last mini game of the bunch. In this game, at least. Moment of truth. Bullet time battle.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a
I wonder if
chance.
there's a remix of this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just check on YouTube.
Where's your proof? You kidding me?
It's a
Not
catchy
a
song.
chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me?
I'm guessing you have to get a specific combo.
Nah, you just need to bring his health down. You can see it at the top of the screen.
Shut up.
Oh.
Stupid.
Final strike!
Where's your proof?
So in future games, you need to put together a sentence that proves his guilt. I think B3 has the best
Screws on
one,
the bathroom doorknob were removed.
but that's not surprising.
I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
That must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
He's going stupid. Like, seriously, I think all the pressure's getting to his head.
Stupid, stupid, stupid,
Surprising.
stupid.
I mean, if he's found guilty, he will get
Would you mind
killed.
showing us your toolkit?
Brutally.
If I'm right about this,
So,
then
very
the
extreme
screwdriver will
ace
show
attorney.
some evidence of being used.
More extreme than usual.
Stupid, stupid, stupid.
Extreme in a different way.
And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Lose it.
Stupid. Stupid.
Checkmate.
You have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
You okay there? You look like you're about to see a ghost.
Or you are a ghost. Ah!
Ah, A rank. Is that the highest you can get?
I think so.
Is there, unless there's an S rank. Is there an S rank?
I don't think so.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Hanakumopoly?
Monacucino? Ooh, food. Right when I'm about to finish.
Oh, let's finish this first, then
Yeah,
eat.
absolutely. The Blackened who killed Sayaka was none other than Leon
I can't
Kawada.
believe it's 12 already. We just got past.
I finished this up a bit sooner than I thought, considering I started late.
But
You son of a bitch!
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So that's why. None of you are any different! I was just unlucky. That's all. Hey, come on!
Everything's become clear. We have our Blackened and, well, let's say 12 people are going to live. For now.
Mastermind.
We don't know yet. Yeah. If you enjoyed this this live stream, please do think about playing some of the Danganronpa games for yourself. But just to warn you, you'd probably want to play this game first, because all of the future games pretty much spoil who the mastermind of this game is.
Yeah.
Just to warn you. That said, they do get better and better. Yeah, I'm
We're just finishing up.
Looks like there'll be lunch after this. I wonder who's up next.
I don't know. It'll probably one of the younger ones, considering
Yeah.
we want to make sure that our younger participants take their turns before us veterans get in on the action.
You're doing the full 24 hours, right?
I'm doing the full 24 hours, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll have plenty of time to get your live streams done.
And you can all watch me suffer you can watch me suffer playing through Mega Man X6. Because if there's one thing the internet loves, it's seeing someone torture themselves.
I agree completely. Oh god, I'll have to watch that.
I'll text you when that's happening.
If I have time. I mean, I've got a few things to do today.
But I will be playing something good, hopefully. I'm hoping to tag team with my friend Tom as we live stream Mega Man X4. This game series, it's rather interesting to me. I'm speaking this as a casual newcomer. It's interesting and quite disturbing with the concept.
Trust me, the second game is probably the most disturbing at the end. I actually had to skip parts of the text because my brain couldn't handle it.
Oh wow.
It was disturbing, and I was filled with so much despair. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm going to say that I didn't know what was the best outcome by the end. And that's brilliant writing.
Yeah.
When it makes you feel like that. And in a good way.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, here it comes. One of the other things that this game is known for, aside from its class trials, and the teddy bear. Punishment.
Usually the punishments are very ironic.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a light spanking, it's straight up execution in the most ironic fashion possible.
Since he's the ultimate baseball star, what do you think his punishment will be?
Yep, it's pretty much almost always based on their talents. Or at least their interests. Whatever's more ironic. You know, Celeste's speech, if you've seen the manga I mentioned with Leon, it kinda hurts. Gotta pity the poor guy. And Sayaka.
Do you understand?
I mean, if you were put in a situation like that, what would you do?
I don't know personally.
I would happily kill you.
What? Thanks very much.
That's why...
You trust me after all. And I'm kind of a sociopath.
Oh.
That's it, you're not getting lifts back from the game club anymore.
Oh, yeah, me.
No. I know what you're gonna do to me now that we're gonna be stuck in that situation.
I was joking. I need someone who'll protest for my innocence. Somebody who I can blame. I mean, somebody who I can ask for help when I'm in... You'd probably murder me first. You can certainly do it.
Alright, fine.
I'm just a weird neat.
Oh yeah, that is.
Oh my god, it's real.
I did tell you.
Hey,
I'm gonna need to drink.
It's pre-purchased DLC as well.
No, we're still not at the execution yet.
Oh, I'll let you use my equipment. Got a camera on the
Oh boy, here it is.
Chills,
Yeah, get to what everyone's been waiting for.
chills.
Punishment time.
Yay! I'm begging you! Please, don't do this!
Hey, come on now.
Yeah, society demands punishment. Sorry, Leon.
Stop!
I mean, I like you and all, but
Now then, I
one of the
prepared a
things about this
very
game,
special
you will
punishment.
like at least some of the characters. And the characters you love will probably die.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Here we go.
Game over. Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. This punishment's been around since the Distrust demo. So that's why it's a bit more brutal than the other executions you see.
A baseball gun machine gun.
Yep.
Did I really just say baseball gun machine gun?
Yep. The 1,000 blows. Or million fungos, as it's known in Japan.
I'm only gonna get worse tonight, people.
No more awkward than I was before you came in. Not pleasant conversation to be having while someone's dying right before our eyes.
In a quite a horrific way. Ooh.
Over 9,000!
Very nice.
Hope you have a wonderful day, folks. I think I'll go get me some food now.
Yes, and I'll finish up here. Can you go let Jordan know I'm done?
Yeah, sure. Here are your cat ears back.
Extreme!
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you watch some of the others here today as well. Please have a wonderful day. Hope you'll look into the series if you're not a fan already. And please have a wonderful day.
Well,
Kate out.